I'm going to go over 5 things right now that you should look for when analyzing a deal. There's a lot of things that go into analyzing deals and understanding a deal, but let's not be overwhelmed right now. Let's just go over the top 5 that you should look at right this second.
We're in Houston right now, walking our new 56-unit crazy property here. It starts down there. We got Allon, $1 billion.
I'm going to go over the top 5 things that you need to look into and focus on during the due diligence period. A lot of things go into due diligence and it can be overwhelming, but I'm going to break out right now the top 5 that you need to be aware of, understand, and will help you to get a deal to the finish line and moving forward thereafter. Number 1 is inspections and repairs. I've been involved in deals where I go in, assume that the inspections and repairs are going to cost me $50,000, and in the end of the entire project, I end up overspending by $200,000. That's a budgeting mistake because I didn't understand what's going to go into the property. You live and you learn. I don't make those mistakes anymore. At least if I do, it's very minimal because we know how to do things better now. We know how to project better and break out spreadsheets better. But when I started, I didn't know that. Thankfully, I was buying at a good basis, so the deal still made sense. But I would have liked to save that money or go in knowing more. In order to make sure that you have a successful inspection and repair due diligence period, what you need to do is hire an inspector, hire a professional. If you don't hire a professional, you need somebody there that understands what they're looking at. You don't want to just eyeball something. You want to get dimensions, get an idea of what you're looking at, what it's going to cost you to spend, where you're going to need to put that money, or if it's not going to make sense to invest in those improvements. Make sure you break all of this out in a spreadsheet before moving forward. Every project that I do has a repair and maintenance spreadsheet broken out, especially when there's a big CapEx necessary. There's a lot of CapEx necessary in order to bring a deal from start to finish. Next is the appraisal. Appraisals are really important, guys. Let me touch on that. Appraisals are very important, guys, because if you're buying a property for $1 million and it appraises for $800,000, your bank is not going to finance you on $1 million acquisition. If you buy a property for $1 million and it appraises at $2 million, your bank's not financing you on $2 million. They're financing you based on $1 million acquisition price. But when you refinance, you have an appraisal in place that says it's worth $2 million before you even add your value. Keep that in mind. It's extremely important. You want good appraisals. You want to understand what you're looking at, and that's going to justify your refinances and how much money your property's valued at. Number 3, deadlines. This is important. I've been dealing with this a lot lately. If you don't know your deadlines, then you're going to run into issues. No question about it. You do not want to be contractually obligated and push yourself up against a wall if your deadlines aren't outlined properly and you don't know what you're looking at. For example, if you buy a property, let's say a strip mall, and the mall has a deadline for the due diligence period in 2 weeks. If you don't know what the tenants are paying, if you didn't inspect the outside of the property, if you didn't get an environmental or an appraisal within those 2 weeks, then your money, your deposit goes hard. If you put down a $100,000 deposit, it goes hard, which means that you're not going to get it back if you back out of the deal once you get your due diligence material back. And maybe you're going to find out that one of the tenants hasn't paid for 6 months and you don't want the property anymore. But it's too late. Your money just went hard because your due diligence period expired. Make sure you understand your deadlines, especially if there's a TOE. Time is of the essence. Time is of the essence means that you have to close on that date or before that date. If you don't, you lose your down payment. We don't want to lose our down payments. If you're watching this video, please understand that. Don't lose your down payments or put them at risk or push yourself up against a wall. Make sure you understand your timelines and outline them before you go into contract so you can be safe and secure throughout your deal. The loan approval process. Make sure, and again, this is so important. Everything I've been touching on in this video is so important. Make sure that you qualify for the loan that you want to get when buying an investment property. I'm buying an apartment complex right now. The first thing that they asked me is, have you owned 5 units or more for over 2 years? Thankfully, I qualify and so does my partner. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten the type of financing that we wanted or that made sense for us to do this deal. Why is that important? It speaks for itself. If I can't get the financing, I can't do the deal. This wasn't an all-cash deal. We're buying 138 units in Houston, Texas, and the financing was the most key part of the entire due diligence period. If we didn't qualify for financing, we could back out of the deal. Thankfully, we do, and we're moving forward with it. Understand your financing metrics and what you need in order to qualify for your financing. Make sure all your ducks are in a row, your due diligence requests are in a row, and you have all of that in order to bring the deal to the finish line. Lastly, and this is pretty interesting, you won't see this in many videos, you want to analyze the brokers involved. This isn't so important for bringing the deal to the finish line because you're already in contract. But this is important moving forward and thereafter. You want to work with good people, people you enjoy working with, that you can trust and that'll bring you good deals or will help you through the process and hold your hand if you need it. They'll go above and beyond to get the deal done. So analyze them. Understand what they did. See if they fell short, if they didn't care after you guys went into contract, or if they really put their front foot forward and tried to make the deal happen. I always like to put pressure on my people because I want to work with good people. I want people that want to work with me and work hard and get deals to the finish line. And if they don't, I have no interest in being a partner with them or doing anything with them moving forward. So analyze your people, your brokers, your agents, everyone involved while you're doing due diligence and get a better idea if you want to work with these people in the future. I can go on and on about more things to look for during the due diligence period, but I think I touched on 5 of the most important, crucial aspects of what you need to focus on. Thank you for watching. Like this video if you agree with what I said. Drop a comment if you think I missed anything, and share it with somebody that's getting into real estate or in the real estate game. It took me a lot of deals in order to figure out what's right and what's wrong, and these 5 are key in order to make a deal from start to the finish be successful. Thank you. Until next time.